Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate Games, where we talk about all things gaming, and today we're going to be talking about 007 The First Light. Now this announcement came from IO Interactive from the State of Play that we just recently had, and I gotta say, we've known about this game for a while, but actually getting to see it is very exciting, and I can't wait to talk about it more. So when it comes to IO Interactive, you can just kind of tell how far the developer has come as like a whole, with just how good the Hitman games have been recently in the last few years. They've definitely done the most they can with the series, and it really shows. Fans really enjoy it. The gameplay is great and the stealth is fantastic. Hitman has come a long way since, the 360 era and the time of Absolution, when it wasn't really all that great, but at the end of the day those games were still fantastic in their own right, and it really shows. So I'm glad to really see them branch out and do more, especially within recent years. Not to say that Hitman is bad or gotten stale or anything, because they always make it fresh, but we kind of crave something new, and 007 First Light is a chance for us to really see that happen. That being said, it's very exciting to see where this game could go. IO Interactive is definitely getting way more room for storytelling with this franchise. Not to say that Hitman didn't have any story to tell, but with 007, I feel like there's more characters to get involved. There's much more, plots to get into. And not only just from a story perspective, but from gameplay. They're going to be able to do a lot more. Hitman was a very stealth-based focused game. Granted, you could go in, mob down the crowd if you really wanted to, but the way you played that game was primarily stealthily. So to have, a game that's going to incorporate a lot of action into it, that's going to be great, and it's going to be a good time, because it seems like there's going to be a perfect balance of both. So if they can incorporate on the strength that they already had and then add some more, that's already pretty exciting. 007, from what we've seen so far, is looking like it's going to be an action-packed adventure, with possibly even driving, boats and cars and things like that. So I definitely can't wait to see what they bring to the table when they start showing the game off more. One thing I can definitely say about this game is that it really knows what they're doing with it. Like, it feels like a James Bond game. I don't look at the trailer and kind of go like, I don't feel like this is like a thing that James Bond wouldn't do, or it doesn't give me that James Bond vibe. It really, IO Interactive does a really great job in just, portraying James Bond as, especially this younger and fresher version of him. Granted, this is the beginning of their story. Again, like I said earlier in the video, they're supposed to be doing, a series of different, games. So hopefully we see how he ages and stuff, and it gets more experience over time. But surprisingly, this young James Bond is a nice start. It feels fresh. It feels like it's going in the right direction. And surprisingly, I can't wait to get my hands on it and actually play it, because this game looks very interesting. I'm very interested to see what they go and where they do and which stories they actually adapt from either the novels, the old movies, or anything like that. I know a lot of people are kind of tired of the Daniel Craig stuff. As decent as those movies were, it did have a 10-year long run, so I know a lot of people are just really wanting something fresh, especially in the gaming sphere. I haven't touched a 007 game since GoldenEye, so that has to tell you a lot. Aside from that, this game is shaping up to be something really good, and I think it's a breath of fresh air, especially for a lot of narrative driven games. I think narratively this game will be just as good, and a big surprise. I think Expedition 33 is a great example. It was a game that I think a lot of people were hyped for, but I don't think people expected it to be that good of a game, especially in its story as well. I feel like people are getting that same vibe from this 007 game. Granted, Hitman's games were pretty good narratively for what, story they told in those games. But this feels like there's much more to unpack, there's much more to look forward to, and they have a lot more to build off of, because there's such a storied, franchise with this game. So, and that's a good thing. So hopefully they just really knock out of the park. I'd be surprised if they had any problems narratively with this game. I really hope that we can see it sooner rather than later. And I can't wait to see what they do with the gameplay as well. There's lots of aspects of that we still haven't seen, except for the little bit of teasers that we saw. As far as concerns about the game, I don't really have too many of those. The only thing I can expect this game to really do that'll kind of suck will just be maybe a patch, or maybe there might be a bug or two in the game that might interfere with gameplay or something like that. I mean, that's expected with game development, especially with these really big games nowadays. But I'd be shocked to see anything game breaking, or on Cyberpunk's level of just absolute just not working. IO Interactive has been pretty good as far with bugs in the most part, and even when they had a bug, they always make it fun. The Hitman's briefcase thing was a really big example of that, and I'm not too worried in that aspect. So my only concern with this game really right now is just not seeing more of it this year. That being said, let me know what you think about the video. I know it wasn't really that long. I wanted to go for something a little bit more short and sweet. Definitely trying new formats, definitely trying to do new things, trying to be more consistent. I'm open to criticism. If you want to comment down below, if you got a problem with the video, was inaccurate about something, please let me know. I'm always down to hear what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate you watching today.